Okay, 10:21. Adityanam
Adityanam
Aham Vishnur
Aham Vishnu
Jyotisham
Visham
Ravir
Ravi
Ravir
Amshuman
Amshuman
Marichir
Marichi
Marichir
Marutam
Marutam
Tam
Ashmi
Ashmi
Asmi
Nakshatranam
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 Aham Shashi.
Aham
Am
Shachi.
Shashi.
So here in chapter 20, what is chapter 20? The title, it is called Opulence of the Absolute. Opulence means all the positive qualities that are emanating. Absolute means the absolute truth. Satyam Param Dhimahi. There's so many truths, but the finality of the truth is the absolute truth. Right? So he's saying, of all the Adityas that I created, I am Vishnu. Vishnu is one of the Adityas, not like the Garbhodaksha Vishnu that we discussed last time. Of all the lights, I am radiant sun.
What Aditya?
Sorry?
What is Aditya?
Adityas are one type of devatas. There are various types of devatas, right? Kinnara, Kim Purusha, Aditya, like that. No, there's so many kinds of categories. Just like you have on planet Earth, blacks, whites, yellows, blues, reds. In the same way, on planet, the Swargaloka, you have different kinds of devatas, categories of devatas.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you really look at it, Bhagavad Gita is not spoken just for planet Earth. Right? So at this point, he's not even talking about you and me. He's talking about devatas. Right? And if you look at Srimad Bhagavatam, in the pastime of Bali Maharaj, on whose head Lord Vishnu places his feet and pushes him down to Sutala planet, that pastime that Leela did not happen on planet Earth. It happened where? Anybody know? Nobody? Surprising. What was Bali Maharaj doing?
In Patal,
No,
Patal Lok, I think.
No, not. It was where?
Okay.
Anybody else? Second guess? Nobody knows? It happened. What was the context? Why did Lord Vishnu come and ask for his for three feet? Right? Anybody know? Why did Lord Vishnu come and ask?
Basically want to he is having so much false ego, and he thinks that he can give anything.
That is all good. That is all good.
I think he was doing some yagyas to get some boons so that he could go defeat Indra.
No.
I think he was he already had all the three lokas, right? Bhuloka.
Yeah, Rekha Mataji is correct. He already won the three lokas. He defeated Indra. And what did Indra do when he got defeated? Indra goes to who? He goes to Pitamaha. Who is Pitamaha? Brahma. And Brahma is Pitamaha for all of us. Brahma is the great grandfather of all of us. So Brahma says, my dear Brahma, this, a demon kicked me out of my kingdom. What should I do? Then Brahma said, okay, I'm also helpless. This demon is too powerful. Let's go to Big Boss. Who is Big Boss? Vishnu, Lord Vishnu. So they go to Kshira Sagara. You guess
Prabhu,
from
we are not able to hear. I don't know. Is it only for us or for others also?
sorry.
Yeah, it's sort of like you're cut in and out.
Yeah, voice is cutting off, Prabhuji.
Yeah. So internet connection. What?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Some,
Also.
I think some network issue. Yeah, network issue.
Yeah, we can't hear you, Prabhuji.
So they. Can you hear me now?
It comes and goes. It comes
No.
and goes. Yeah.
So they go to, where do they go? They go to Lord Brahma, and Brahma takes them to Kshirosagar to introduce them to Lord Vishnu. And Vishnu says, okay, don't worry, I will come in a short time and take care of this Bali Maharaj. Right? The pattern is always the same. Whenever there is a trouble, all the devatas, they go to Lord Vishnu. Am I audible now?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. So pattern is always the same. Whenever there is a trouble, they go to Lord Vishnu. So Lord Vishnu, this pastime happens in Swargaloka. So lot of times when the Lord recites Bhagavad Gita, he is referring to a lot of devatas. I mean, he's not just talking to human beings. He's talking to devatas, he's talking to human beings, and he's also talking to plants and animals. We haven't figured that out, how to communicate to plants and animals, but he's also talking to plants and animals. He's talking to everyone. Sarva Jiva means all living entities on the planet. So
When you said where he was, you were cutting out. So were you saying Sri Lanka?
no, Swargaloka. Swarga,
Swargaloka.
heaven.
Okay.
Anybody remember the PowerPoint that I talked about last time? The picture. Okay. Hold on just a minute. I need to go to. I have too many windows open. That's why it's consuming too much bandwidth. Let me close some of the windows. Okay. So can you hear me better now?
Is somebody's phone on mute actually? Unmute.
Okay, I'll show you the cosmic hierarchy that I showed you last time. One more time. And then you'll understand where these leelas happened. Everybody remember this picture from last time?
Yeah.
So we talked about planet Earth, right? Talked about planet Earth. Here we are in the middle, and then Swargaloka is the third level. There are other higher planetary systems, and then there are different lower planetary systems. So Bali Maharaj was kicked down from this Swargaloka down to Sutala, which is even below earthly layer. So the point I'm trying to make is, it's not like these scriptures are spoken just for us. They are spoken for everything, every living entity. Okay, Jaipal, can you read the purport? Jaipal, can you hear us? Nobody can hear me?
I can hear you. Do you want me
I
to read?
can hear you.
Okay. Ankita, can you hear me?
Yes, Guruji, I can hear you.
Okay, can you please read?
Yes, there are 12 Adityas, of which Krishna is the principal among all the luminaries shining in the sky. The sun is the chief, and in the Brahma Samhita, the sun is accepted as the glowing eye of the Supreme Lord. There are 50 varieties of wind blowing in space, and of these winds, the controlling deity, Marichi, represents Krishna. Among the stars, the moon is the most prominent at night, and thus the moon represents Krishna. It appears from this verse that the moon is one of the stars. Therefore, the stars that twinkle in the sky also reflect the light of the sun. The theory that there are many suns within the universe is not accepted by Vedic literature. The sun is one, and as by the reflection of the sun, the moon illuminates. So also do the stars. Since Bhagavad Gita indicates herein that the moon is one of the stars, the twinkling stars are not suns but are similar to the moon.
Yeah. So normally modern astronomers think that moon is a satellite and not a star, but Bhagavad Gita clearly says nakshatranam, means moon is also one of the star. So now let's move a little quicker. 10:22. Vedanam sama vedosmi
Vedanam Samavedosmi
devanam vasavah
Devanamasti Vasavaha
Namaste.
indriyanam manaschasmi
Indriyanam Manashasmi
Manashasmi.
bhutanamasmi chetanam.
Bhutanamasmi
Bhutanamasti
Chetanam.
Chetana.
Of the Vedas, I am the Sama Veda, because Sama Veda is supposed to be superior of the four Vedas. Of the demigods or Devatas, I am Indra. Indra is supposed to be the highest of the Devatas, king of heaven. Of the senses, I am the mind. And in living beings, I am the living force or consciousness. So essentially, Lord Krishna is saying that he is the superior principle in every living entity. Like, if you have Vedas knowledge, the best knowledge is Krishna. If you have Devatas, the best Devata is Indra. So Krishna is saying that I am the potency of Indra. And in living being, I am the living force consciousness. So he comes as Paramatma and he sits in our heart. Okay, difference between matter and spirit is matter has no consciousness. Therefore, this consciousness is supreme and eternal. So you are also eternal souls. Krishna is also eternal. Krishna is super soul. You are regular soul, right? So it's not like you die, you never die. You just go from body to body millions of times. And therefore, we need have a higher level of responsibility when we are in a human form of life. So this is our notepad. Last time we discussed the entire spectrum from atheism on the left, nature worshipper, next, I am God concept, Aham Grihopasana, and Mayavadam, everybody is God. So in this, let's make one more note that the consciousness in you is Krishna. How? Because he himself says that. He just said that. In which verse? 10 dot. Let me close these extraneous files. 10:22. Right? So how do you know Paramatma is there in you? Refer to 10:22. So move on 10:23. Rudranam Shankaraschasmi
Rudranam
Shankara Shasmi
Shankarasmi
Vittesho Yaksha Rakshasam
Vittesho
Vitesho Yakshara
Yakshasam
Rakshasam.
Vasunam Pavakaschasmi
Vasunam
Vasuna
Sunam
Pavakashasmi
Pakashasmi
Pavakashasmi.
Meru Shikarinam Aham.
Meru
Meru
Shikari
Shikarinam Aham.
So he is saying, I am the Meru Shikhara. Anybody remember the Meru Parvat that we talked about last time? What is Meru Parvat?
Mountain.
Yeah, but what is its significance?
Where
Meru Parvatam.
Samudra Manthan took
Yeah.
place, I think, at Meru Parvat, keeping.
Samudra Manthan.
Yeah.
Very good. So Ankita,
Yes.
Ankita has good knowledge. Okay. And Meru Parvat is the center of the universe, right? So I gave a seminar 7 years ago around Vedic cosmology. So let's go and review that. Vedic cosmology. Open with PowerPoint. The Meru Parvat is the center of the universe. We talked about it, right? We talked about various cosmology like the Hindu, Middle Eastern, Mayan, the South American, Old Testament, the Bible, the Buddhist, Egyptian, Babylonian, Greek. So you see, in the unknown, there is a Meru Parvat in the middle. So there are some unknown groups that also follow Meru Parvat. And this is from Thailand. There is the whole temple is golden temple, real gold, where they have a central Meru Parvat in the middle. And then they consider everything else around Meru Parvat. So in a way, Thailand is more Hindu than India because their temples are still intact. Indian temples have been destroyed by the Muslims. They broke the temples, took all the gold and ran away. So that is the central point. That is Meru Parvat. This is Angkor Wat in Cambodia. This is Sumeru. This is from one of the Buddhist books. Sumeru in the middle. And if you see, this is one top view of the universe. Meru Parvat is in the middle. And 4 streams of Ganges come from 4 sides of the Meru Parvat. And in the Scandinavian tree of life, the center of the universe is a tree, which is very interesting because Bhagavad Gita chapter 15, Krishna says, Urdhvamulam adashakam. This material world is a reflection of the real tree of the spiritual world. So this is a biblical tree of life. 4 rivers, honey, milk, oil, and wine flow into Garden of Eden. And so in this way, different traditions have this Meru Parvat. Even the Muslims, modern Muslims are totally confused, but he basically says that there are 7 layers of heaven, right? Very similar to the Vedic concept because it cannot be different, right? The Vedas say there are 7 layers of heavens. The Bhur, Bhuva, Swarga, Mahat, Tapa, Jana, and Satyalokas. So the Mormons also have a similar concept. From premortal existence, we take birth into earth life. Body goes to grave, spirit goes to either paradise. And then there is final judgment. They think that they can again come back into the same body, which is kind of a confusion because your body is already finished. In the grave, if you go and dig it, there will only be what? Mud there. That's it, nothing else. So most of the knowledge comes from a book called Bhugola Varnanam, disciple of Madhvacharya, Yatiraja. Vadiraja is a disciple of Madhvacharya. So there were some crimes committed against humanity. So there was one Sanskrit teacher, his name is Bapudeva Shastri. So they hired him to basically rewrite the Vedas, to put wrong concepts in the Vedas. So Bapudeva Shastri said that astronomy was more important than Jyotisha or astrology. And then Bapudeva Shastri and Lancelot Wilkinson, they rewrote the Vedas. And they said this is all nonsense, right? So now most people actually read or understand Vedas from this perspective, which is wrong. But the real books are Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. So modern science is still young. Man has a soul to save. Modern scientists are very good at guesses. Systematic governance of universe is forced by has a force outside of the universe, right? Christian priests could not give clear answers to Renaissance questions. So what happened? During Renaissance, people said, now we don't need to follow church. Now it's all science. So 550 years ago in Europe, in the middle of Europe, Italy especially, Renaissance paintings, Renaissance thought came in, like Michelangelo, and all these famous scientists came at that time, like that. So again, Mysteries of Sacred Universe, Dr. Richard Thompson from US, he wrote a book around Meru Parvat and the structure of the universe according to Vedas. Danvir Goswami, Prabhupada's disciple, also wrote a book, Vedic Cosmology. I have this book somewhere in my library. This is a side view of Mount Meru, and there are other peaks. So this is Garbhodaka Ocean, the ocean, and then from middle of the ocean, the Meru Parvat comes. This is the top view. So there is Kusha Dvipa, Krauncha Dvipa, Saka Dvipa, Pushkara Dvipa. By the way, I'll post this recording so you can go and see, because I need to go fast, otherwise we'll never complete. Here is Garbhodaksha Vishnu. Oh no, sorry, this is not Garbhodaksha Vishnu. Which Vishnu is this? Anybody can?
Is this Karmadaksha?
Yes, this Karnodaksha. So you are paying attention, Rekha Mataji. Come on, wake up, other guys.
No, this was Disha. It was Disha.
Oh, it was Disha. Okay, so Disha, you are awake. Others are sleeping. Karno Dakasai Vishnu. Because Garbhodaksha Vishnu will have what?
Milk?
Huh?
No, they have the umbilical from
Brahma
the
from the navel.
Yeah, Brahma from the umbilical
Brahma.
vein, right? It should be lotus coming out. Remember, we talked about for 1.5 hours last time. We cannot forget this so quickly.
This is Karnadaksha.
Yeah, this is also Karnadaksha because he doesn't have this Brahma coming out of his navel.
So then I'm confused between the milk sagar and the milk sagar. There is one.
Why are you confused?
Because then the Garbhodaksha Vishnu in the place is on milk sagar, right? The Kshir Sagar, what is?
No, Garbhodaksha Vishnu. Where is Garbhodaksha Vishnu, Jaipal? He's not in Kshir Sagar. Which Sagar is he in?
Earth. Earth under.
Viraja river.
No. Now everybody's guessing. Okay, let's create a table for that. Okay.
Yeah, please, I need that, because you know what? I was talking about the different forms of Vishnu with my father-in-law for like 3 hours, and we were like, okay, fine, we have to do some research to conclude this thing. So we haven't concluded from last week.
Yeah, I'll do it if you make a donation to our free food truck.
Done.
Okay, good. So Karnodaksha Vishnu is in Karana Ocean, Karana Sagara. Okay. Garbho Dakasai Vishnu is within the universe, bottom half filled with water, which is actually perspiration of the Lord. Because who can fill up a universe with water? None of the scientists like Stephen Hawking or Stephen Hawking can fill up the universe with water, right? It's only a supreme Lord who can fill up an entire universe with bottom half. Yeah. So when scientists look in periscopes and telescopes and radio telescopes, what are they looking at?
That is the atomic form of Vishnu.
Yeah, but which direction are they looking at?
The top half of the.
Yeah, top half. Remember, I was just showing you the presentation. Not only Vedic scriptures, but every scripture on the planet. It's talking about only top half. See that? Then what is there in the bottom half?
Prabhuji, where is the Kshira Sagar, Prabhuji?
Okay, I'm coming to that. Don't be in a hurry.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So what is there in the bottom half?
That's Garbhodakshay Vishnu lying in the sweat.
Yes, yes. So even though Middle Eastern people, Iran and Iraq and all those guys, don't know about Krishna, they know that the bottom half of the universe is filled with water. And they also know that there are mountains in the circumference. So universe has very high mountains on the sides. So you cannot see anything. It's like pitch black. Why can we see in the top half?
Mountains are not that high.
The planets,
But one more thing, there's one more significant point. What is it?
the planets and stars.
Yeah.
Sun.
One more
Because of
important
the sun.
point. What is it? Sorry, somebody I think said that.
Because sun
Yeah.
is there.
Sun, yeah. Because sun is there in the top half. It is not in the bottom half. Once in a while, it dips below the median, but again, it comes back up. So it doesn't go all the way down to Patala level. It's very interesting. I'll show you a video. Hold on just a minute, okay? So let's continue.
Prabhuji, can we at some point because I remember reading somewhere that as per the Vedic cosmology, the Earth is stationary and the sun goes around. So can we, like in one class, discuss this? Because that is something which is like totally radically different from what we have been
But
taught.
there are bigger experts than me, Radha Mohan Das, who is like, full time, 24 hours working on that problem from Mayapur. So his videos are there on, but yeah, we will discuss that. So this is which ocean? And then Kshirodaksha Vishnu, where is he?
Kshir Sagar.
And?
No, that's the atomic form.
Every atom.
In every atom.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Sorry. So this is like, my intense part coming because of the discussion with my
I know,
father.
I could sense that. It was like you were talking to your father-in-law again.
And Kshirosagar, both places. And where is Kshirosagar?
Swargaloka.
No, it's above that, near Brahmaloka. Last time, I remember distinctly Radha Mohan Das saying that, but you all forgot. You want to see again? Hold on. Actually, looks like Keshwananda Prabhu gave a lecture. He just came on my dashboard.
On what topic, Prabhuji?
Coronavirus.
And throwing over Ashnish Danida, and let's try and find out what everyone has got in common. Is there a consensus to go forward? I think we should move forward with the following understandings. The demigods experience the universe very differently to modern humans. And the universe includes both gross and subtle forms, so it cannot be fully represented in purely physical terms. That includes distances. Starting off with this familiar thing, where is Jambudvipa as described in the 5th canto. Of course, we're familiar with Jambudvipa. There's Mount Meru there in the centre of the Golden Mountains, surrounded by a pattern there of various mountains and rivers. Here, the left diagram is the celestial Jambudvipa is described in the 5th canto with its various heavenly realms there. But of course, Satipurpu relates that, of course, to the mountainous areas of Asia, Central Asia. Let's try and put these two together, because we must. Prabhupada writes in the Bhagavad Gita, 5th canto, 1711 purport, Among the 9 varshas of Jambudvipa, the tract of land known as Bharatvarsh is understood to be the field of fruitive activities, the other 8 varshas to be meant for very highly elevated, pious persons. After returning from the heavenly planets, they enjoy the remaining results of their pious activities there. In the Ramayana, Sugriv describes the many realms for the monkeys to explore to find Sita, including the celestial realms of Jambudvipa. In the Mahabharata, Bhima met Hanuman in the mountains on his way to the abode of Kubera. He needed Hanuman's cooperation before accessing that region. In the Bhagavatam 5th canto, 16:13-14, on the subject of Jambudvipa, it reads, "The waters of the first lake taste just like milk, the water of the second like honey, and that of the third like sugarcane juice. The fourth lake is filled with pure water." Therefore, most of Jambudvipa is a group of divine realms that the qualified can access via gateways somewhere within the mountainous regions of Central Asia. To advanced personalities, those realms are experienced as part of greater Earth. Let's imagine here a rather beautiful view there of the Himalayan mountains. Perhaps the yogis that find spots or gateways from which, through sadhana, mantras, and so forth, in their subtle body, can travel upwards, perhaps, in terms of description, to access other realms. Here, for example, here's the Earth, the round circle representing the mountainous regions as described. Great personalities can actually see more than that. Perhaps indeed they can see great mountains, but here representing the height, 80,000 miles of travelling upwards in the subtle body, by which one can access these other realms, like Kimpurush, for example, part of Jambudvipa. And from there, if one is qualified, one can go higher still to Adivarsh and Ilidvarsh. And the high demigods can see the whole of Jambudvipa simultaneously, like this, as described in the Bhagavatam. And at the top, the various mountains, the local embassies of key demigods. But what about gateways to the subterranean planets underneath Jambudvipa? That's a fascinating subject. Anjali writes in his paper, "That which exists below Brahmandala will also be found below Gogola. Thus, if one could travel below the Earth globe, one would find subterranean planets. Thus, the Siddhanta states that these Patala-lokas are within the Earth globe. That's a really good way forward. In that context, Meru, of course, would be the North and South poles, so underneath there, of course, would be underneath the Earth. And one needs to go down into the Earth, but also subtly travel downwards. And in that way, one can access the lower planets, if one wanted to, that is. I also wanted to bring in this conception. Here, of course, is the Gogola, the Earth globe, as well, of course, the flat plane of Brahmandala. Put those two models together, and we actually open up the idea that perhaps the lower planets could also be accessed from other planets underneath in a solar system. The vertical aspect of the universe is ultimately to do with levels and types of consciousness. For example, this vertical graph of the solar system is according to temperature and nothing to do with physical distances. For example, here, according to this graph, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn will be nearer to the Earth than Venus, because Venus is much hotter, but it's not to do with physical distance. Here's another example. Here's a mother, father, and their child, and of course they're all physically close together. However, the mother here has a link, a mental link in this case, a maturity link, a mental capacity link with the teacher. So in one sense, she's closer to him from a kind of a subtle point of view. Another example, here's the Earth, Moon, and Sun relationship in traditional, not to scale, but it gives us an idea. But it's not the only way of experiencing such distances. Perhaps from the point of view of the yogi, with subtle vertical travel, the yogi reaches the sun before the celestial moon. Consider Prabhupada's quotes in the Nectar of Devotion. A mystic yogi can enter into the sun planet simply by using the rays of the sunshine. That's a product of spiritual advancement through sadhanas such as meditation and yoga. I want to briefly touch again on the universe as a cosmic tree. There's, of course, the cosmic tree there, as described by Avnishtalena. And the subtle forms are created first. The more higher you go up the tree, of course, the more subtle things actually are. But as you go through the creation process, they get grosser. And this understanding, those at the top, like Lord Brahma, can see the whole thing. But as you work through, down the branches through the creational path, things get grosser. And the living entities there cannot see above them, but they only can see what's below them. So how would that affect space exploration and our experience of it, given they were quite low down the tree? Rabbit Home 42969 purport reads, "The darkness occurring before the full moon can be explained as another planet known as Rahu. In other words, those who are supposed to be going to the moon are not going to the moon, but to the planet Rahu."
Okay, so did we go to the moon?
No.
No. According to Srimad Bhagavatam, moon is farther away than the sun, because you need a higher level of consciousness to go to moon than to go to the sun. Yogis can go to the sun just by rays. So yogi anima lagima. Anima means you become very, very small. And then you become so small, consciousness-wise, that you can hang on to a ray of the sun and zoom. It's like a high-speed elevator. You can go into the sun. Right? So with our artificial intelligence driven society, we cannot even think of these things. These are very, very much too superior for the average man to really comprehend. These are much too superior, right? And again, this is just one video. So again, what are the key points? Nitin, what key points did you learn from that video?
There are so many points, Prabhu. I'm like, I have to go watch this all over again.
Yeah. So basically, sun is closer, moon is farther away from a subtle point of view. If you are in the branch from the top, the devatas can see down, but they cannot see the real world. Similarly, we can see a lower species than us, but we cannot see higher species than us. Right? That's why you cannot see the devatas. Forget seeing Supreme Lord Krishna. You cannot even see devatas. But devatas can see you. They're seeing us every day. Every day they're seeing us 24/7. But we cannot see them. Right? So there is this one more other video. Let's see this one. This is like a...
The astronomy of the Bhagavad Purana. They really are very, very, very tall mountains indeed. In fact, according to the scale of the Earth here, they're about, some of the mountains are about 8 times the height of the Earth itself, which is absolutely incredible size. Looking at the same thing from the side here, here's the whole of Jambudvipa, and just on the right side here, according to that scale, is our little Earth. Just see how big Mount Snow.
Did you catch that point? Right of Mount Meru, what is there?
So the little Earth.
Little Earth. That is our Earth. That does answer your question. Our little Earth is here, but this Jambudvipa, which is in the ocean. There are different oceans. Remember, ocean of water, ocean of milk, ocean of liquor, ocean of this, that. So these are concentric circles, and the middle of the universe is Jambudvip. So we are a little tiny thing next to Jambudvip. So when you ask the question, is Earth flat or round? Both. Jambudvip is flat, but Bhughola, Ghola means round, on which Samamish is a small city, that is on a goal, circle, sphere. Okay? But the Bhuloka, this Jambudvipa, is flat. Right? That's why the confusion. Flat Earth versus round Earth. Actually, our Bhugola is round, but it is situated right above the Loka or Jambudvipa, which is flat.
But I have one question, Prabhuji. In Brindavan, there's one Krishna holding with the little finger is the Meru mountain, right?
That is not Meru.
Means...
That is Govardhan.
Govardhan.
That is different.
Oh, Govardhan. Okay.
Yeah.
That's an, okay.
But anyway, you reminded me of Krishna just by saying that. Govardhana Hill Krishna. Let's see. So this is not Meru. This is Govardhana.
This still exists, and I'm lucky that I have visited. I have done parikrama of Govardhan Parvat for like two times, two trips I have taken. Yeah, it's near Mathura. You can easily plan a trip there. Yeah, and there is Raj, we say, of the mountain. That is the sand that is present, or the soil that we bring along in our home, and we consider it as Govardhan Parvat itself, the holy Govardhan Parvat.
But you should be careful. You should not take too much of that sand.
No. Yeah.
This is
but
not different than Krishna, so don't try to steal Krishna.
No, it's just with their permission only you are supposed to bring.
So last time we also covered this. In the material world, you have all these lokas, Satyaloka, Maharloka, Ityadi, all the way to Patala. So the pleasure versus misery is different in these different planetary systems, right? In Satyaloka, we have highest pleasure, lowest misery, and in Pataloka, highest misery and lowest pleasure. So if you do a graph like that, orange is pleasure and blue is misery. So we are in Bhuloka or actually Bhu Mandala is that flat thing, and Bhuloka is our Bhugol, or this spherical object in which we all live. So that answered your question, Nitin?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So Srila Prabhupada said that this life is like going in a Ferris wheel, sometimes going up, sometimes going down, right? Like
the Swargaloka and Padalaloka are in the universe but not in the earth, right? But I see people saying that heaven and hell are on earth only.
Yeah, that is all modern poetic thing. So do you want to believe a poet or do you want to believe a scientist? This is science from Krishna himself. He gives you the hierarchy.
Yeah, so it is in the universe only, not on the earth. It is in the...
Yeah. So Bhuloka is here, right? One step higher is Bhuvar, one step higher is Swarga, then Tapa, Jana, Mahad, and Satya. This way. We were all there in Swarga at some point, but we made silly mistakes and we got kicked out. And now we came here. So if we make further silly mistakes, we might go to Padala. So the choice is yours, actually. I'm here only to teach you. But if you are not careful, I cannot guarantee that you won't go to lower systems in your next life. So be careful. Chant Hare Krishna every day. Ultimately, only Krishna has got the keys to the kingdom. So,
Prabhuji, a clarifying question.
Yeah.
I don't remember whether it was in one of these classes or where, but I remember somewhere where they were teaching that depending on how you are, just like how you said, doing good versus not so dharmic things, then you reduce in terms of your hierarchy within the living beings. Like, for example, instead of a human being, you may become a rat.
Yes, that is the correct.
But not in terms of loka, but that's how I remember someone explaining.
Yeah, no, that is correct. But it is not guaranteed that you'll be a rat in Bhuloka. You could be a rat in Talatala. So it is both happens, right? Many things happen. When we die, first we are beaten to pulp by Yamadutas. Then we are put in a new body. Like if somebody is always eating meat, they might be put into a pig body or something like that. And he could be a pig on earth, pig in in Mathura, or pig in Patiala in Punjab, or pig in Sutala planet. Doesn't matter. Still, the person is a pig.
So all of these have similar structure of all living beings.
No, in lower lokas you have more animals. Like Patala is full of snakes.
Okay.
Right? Like, some artists have already drawn this. If you go to the internet and put Patala, you will see a loka where they're full of snakes.
Okay. But still, they are all occupied by one form or the other type of living beings.
Yeah. Brahma bhuvana loka punaravartuna Arjuna. Mamupetitu kaunteya punarjanmana vidyate. Krishna says. Brahma bhuvana loka. From Brahma loka to Patala loka. You will take birth again. Mamupetyetu kaunteya. If you surrender unto me, Krishna says, punarjanmana vidyate. You will never get janma again. So, but again, it's not like just simply coming to Bhagavad Gita class and chanting around here. That is called beginning devotion. Devotion means you have to come to a point where, according to Krishna standard, right? For example, if you give examination, 10 students write according to their standard, one student writes according to your standard. So who do you give the highest grade to?
Of course, my standard.
Yeah, of course. The same thing applies to me also. When I like my students' answer paper, I'm pleased with them. When they write some bakwas, then I'm not necessarily pleased with them. So I might smile, but I'm not necessarily internally pleased with a student who is not doing good job. Right? So same thing with Krishna too. I mean, Krishna is a person, remember, right? He's a person. He has all the emotions you have. He gets angry, he gets sad. He gets pleased with certain things and he gets displeased with certain things. So we have to figure out what pleases him and follow, right? According to his standard, not according to our standard. Right now, because Friday evening 7:30 to 9:30 is free for us, we come to this class. Right? And Friday morning 10 o'clock, because we are busy at work, we don't think of Krishna. But then Krishna is saying, Arey, you only come to me once a week. What about the remaining times? And how many hours are there in a week? 24 times 7. 168 hours. Out of that, we are spending 2 hours for Krishna. So do you think he is a fool? He knows how much time we spend for him and how much time we spend for Maya. Because he's there. He has a distributed processing. There is a distributed CPU in your heart. So he knows moment to moment, second to second, what you're thinking and what you're doing. He knows. Right? So you can escape from anybody, but not from Krishna. That's for guaranteed. So, okay, let's chant a little bit. Sri Krishna Chaitanya,
Shri
Krishna Chaitanya,
Prabhu Nityananda,
Prabhu Nityananda,
Advaita Gadadhara,
Advaita Gadadhara,
Vivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Vivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
So let's chant together. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama
Ram
Rama,
Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So that finishes our chanting. Any questions?
Look, I don't know. Give me some time.
Prabhu, I have a personal question about Bhagavad Gita classes in Hindi.
Yeah.